Hello and welcome to Let's Talk About Meh. Today we're going to talk about Combat League Wrestling Rise. It was the second Combat League Wrestling show of the year. It's my little wrestling group that could. We've been running for 13 years now. 13 long years. Says my body. So before we get into the meat and potatoes of it, let's do the socials. If you want to use this generation's version of snail mail and email me, it's on official LetsTalkAboutMeh@gmail.com. If you want to check me out on social media, I use Instagram. That is my main social media where I put up all my stupid stuff, ramblings, daily things. It is Instagram, Let's Talk About Meh1. I am also on the TikTok, and that's like my secondary one. So it's Let's Talk About Meh6 on TikTok. And yeah, if we're on YouTube, you're watching it now, have a cookie. Do the YouTube bullshit. Like, subscribe, and share. Also, by the way, Petty Dave coming out here. See folk that know me. And you keep coming up to me and you go, oh yeah, your videos are funny. Oh, I like the stuff you do. Like my shit, please. Help a brother out. Because I know you watching it. Help a brother out. Anyway. This session has been a disaster before I've even started. And I know a lot of things tend to go wrong in some of these videos anyway, because I'm an absolute unorganized mess. But yeah, so I've been procrastinating heavy today. Heavy. And I think it's because I'm forcing my tism, because I've organized something and I've said we're doing it on this day, and that's it. And a lot of time what works better for me is if I do it when I feel like it. And it's kind of getting to the point where it's like I'm never going to feel like it, so I'm always going to keep putting it off. So I pushed through that, made myself a nice coffee, decaf coffee, by the way. Holy crap! And I started this session, and I went about 5 minutes in. So I've done all this socials before, and then I realized I hadn't turned the microphone on. I hadn't turned it on to record, and then yeah, that sucked. And then I started to record a second time, and my neighbors decided that was a good time to start banging on the wall, doing some gentle DIY. See, I can't say they're banging heavy on the wall. It was more like scratching, almost like clawing. Are you okay? Do you require assistance? Why are you clawing at your wall? I've got a video to record, so you do you. Oh God, don't say that, because now it's going to be like this mad thing that if something happens, and I've just said that, and it's going to be like, Oh, they're fine. It was DIY. It was definitely a hammer or a screw. It sounded like a screw to me. My next door neighbor was screwing. Anyway, moving on very swiftly. Right. Combat League Wrestling Rise, second show of 2025. So before we start talking about the show, I'm going to tell you what happened a week prior. So the show was on Saturday. The Sunday prior, I had a bit of a social gathering. We had a board game evening, which was good fun. And on occasion for dinner, we get a takeaway, something sloppy, something greasy, something nasty. I got something nasty. All right. So yeah, we didn't go to the normal sort of place. Everybody would try something a bit different. That was fine. And I chose as well to eat from this other place. This other place, it's my own fault, by the way. The reason all this happened is my own fault. I have no one to blame but myself. This other place had been shut down prior for poor food hygiene practices a good few years ago. And yeah, I chose to eat from it anyway, so it's my own fault. Yeah, and I got severe food poisoning. The very next day it hit. The very next day. And let me tell you, you don't want to hear it, but I'm going to tell you. my toilet is traumatized. I'm going to be paying that bowl through therapy for the rest of its existence. Wow. That was awful. I had really, really bad food poisoning. Really bad. I was in so much pain. I had stomach cramps, obviously nausea, and just I couldn't move. I couldn't be 2 feet from the freaking toilet. It was awful. It was so bad. And if you've had food poisoning before, then you know yourself how debilitating it is. Just nothing was getting done. And I began to start like freaking out because I'm already in kind of like body management mode because my hip injury is still not better. And I've got a couple other niggling injuries, and it's like I'm trying to get back to where I was, and it's a stress. And I was really panicking about this weekend because I had a lot of work to do this weekend. And then I think it was Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. I was lying on the couch, dying, and all of a sudden I just went. I was like, no, 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 no. Anything best. And yeah, sure enough, I got the cold. I got the cold. I ended up with food poisoning and the cold. I could barely walk. I was in a hell of a state. I had to miss training on the Wednesday night, which is like our last training session before the show. So there was no tune up, no making sure everything was like finalized. And I felt so awful. So awful. Friday was I was still really ill, but it was kind of like I was just pushing through it. And then obviously we have guests come up who are also performing on the show. I'm not allowed to use the I word anymore. I was told off for it, so I won't call them imports anymore. Yeah, they came up and I was like, I hit it quite well. And then on this Saturday, I got to the venue and I was like, oh, but I was a lot better than I was. I honestly, I could not stand. If you hear a loud hissing noise, it's just my airing cupboard. Fantastic place to record. Yeah. So was not in good condition leading into the show. The vibe heading into the show this time was pretty good. The ticket sales were a lot better this time. A lot better. They were night and day from January. But as I said in my previous video where I covered what was the name of the last show? Press Start? Was Press Start the last one? Yeah, must be Press Start. The January show. Which by the way I did a video on that. Go check that out as well. You know, like, subscribe, share. Ooh, I might get into some ASMR there. That wasn't bad. That was not bad. Yeah, so obviously coming out of Christmas into January, things are tough. And I know I keep kind of like dropping hints and everything like that, but I am very, very aware of how fucked things are right now. Like economically, services financially, our rural area. I don't tend to, I'm not a political person, but holy fuck, what's going on with the government? It's just been one shafting after another for the last 8 years, if not more. So things are tough, and they're about to get tougher, but I'm not going into that. The government are obviously making decisions at the moment that are unethical, immoral, and I am one of the people that is included in their current decisions, and it's going to probably affect my life and my standard of living at the moment. But hey, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. One mental breakdown at a time. And oh, my screensaver's still on. Grand. All right, do you know what? I'm going to be super unprofessional. I'm going to turn that off now. Let's turn the screensaver off. You could be editing this out, Dave, but you're not gonna. Why bother? Why bother? Why bother? Oh no. Why can't a Mac have screensaver options just in the screensaver bit? What is that about? What is that about? Oh no. Oh no, we can't find it. We can't find it. Good timing, email. Good timing. I give up. I'm not going to find it. I used to have that window open all the time, and now it's just disappeared. So that's not good. Oh well, screensaver it is then. Right. Anyway, get on with it. Ticket sales were a lot better, so much better. The community really seemed a bit more, into what was coming. I don't think the low numbers last time had anything to do with what we were presenting or what was on offer. I think it was literally just an economic thing and coming straight out of Christmas. So now we've left that bit. Folk turned it. It was a really good turnout. I think we hit our sort of standard sort of number. Our standard-ish numbers, about 120. I think we hit 140, so that was really nice. That was good. Good fun night. And I'm not being biased. It was a good fun night. I was worried going into it, having this kind of like sometimes because obviously I'm the promoter and I'm no longer booking. I thought the card was solid. I just kind of I was like, you always have that. It's an artistic thing. It's got nothing to do with wrestling. It's an artistic thing. You just think, is it enough? Is it enough? And it was enough. It was good. It was Corvyn tagged along for the entire day again, which I think is just going to be a regular thing. He was really, really good. He comes with me in the morning. He comes with me into the venue with setup, and he either helps and gets stuck in or occupies himself. I think he spent the majority of that day prior to the show beating up everyone. Particularly Luke Matthews, I think, was one of the first to get it. And if anyone knows, my son don't put anyone over. My son's a no selling, going into business for himself, son of a bitch. But yeah, he battered Luke Matthews for a considerable amount of time. But yeah, Luke's brilliant one, really good one. And you can see he's good with kids, and Corvyn loves him to bits. And then Corvyn moved pretty much around the entire venue and battered anyone he could. And then Glenn Dunbar made the mistake. He made the mistake of starting on Corvyn, and Corvyn battered him too. Just beat him up. Apparently was quite mean about it too. Double checking I had my mic on there because I just had an absolute horrible thought again. This is an absolute shambles of an episode already, by the way. I'm like 13 minutes in and I've done nothing but ramble, moan, and fuck things up with my screensaver and everything. But yeah, he whooped Glenn Dunbar, and Dunbar came around to me and goes, "Your son is so mean." He was like hitting me and going, you like that, don't you, punk?" But I think that's just Corvyn telling you he likes you. So yeah, show was great. I had double duty that night. I was working twice, and the first one was a tag match. It was good fun. I'm not going to go into the ins and outs of this run-throughs and malarkeys, because unless you were there and you watched it, you wouldn't know. But it was good fun tag. Got a little bit hairy towards the end. Didn't go according to plan, but it happens. But everybody who was in there, we fixed it. It maybe dragged on a wee smidge. Just dragged on just a little bit, but nothing egregious. Just one of that things. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. Although there is a moment in that tag match that's going to stay with me for a very, very, very long time. So, the Harbinger, big, scary guy. The planned idea was that my partner needs to stay out of the ring, and I'm attacking the Harbinger. I'm giving him big shots, and then I was supposed to turn around, and my tag partner was going to throw me some props, and then we were going to have this like comedy spot. Well, my tag partner, bless him, he's in his very very early days of training and that, and we had review night last night, and he was quite hard on himself. Like, he wasn't happy with his performance, but as we all say, it happens. It was only this person's second match. You get your reps. It's just a case of, it's going to happen. And we learn from it and we move on. Nobody's pissed about it, or nobody's thinking, "Ugh, God, it was awful." But yeah, so anyway, they were supposed to be outside throwing me the prop. No, when I turned around and was like, "Give me the prop," they decided to step in the ring, and I was like, "No, don't do this." And I turn around and I'm like, "Oh no." So then I start wailing on Harbinger again, and my partner's standing next to me. I'm like, "Go get the props. Go get the props." Nope, not hearing me, not moving. And obviously I can't shout at the top of my lungs what I want. And then I'm like, get out the ring. And then out of nowhere, Harbinger just goes, "Get out." And it terrified me. My partner was like, "Oh shit, okay." Off we went. And then everyone went back on track. But yeah, Harbinger was no fucking about there. Just the "get out." Scary man. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. It was a good fun wee tag match. Difficult to plan. Difficult to plan in the sense of having a monster like the Harbinger and then a comedy character, and trying to gel everything together. But it turned out okay. I'm very self-critical. I don't think anybody gave a bad performance in it. Everybody did what they could, where they were at in their training, and in their journey in professional wrestling. If anything, I'm just not good at tag. I'm not. Uh, I very rarely nail the flow down. I'm quite set in my ways and how a tag is structured, and I don't think that's wrong. I think how the bare backbone of a tag structure is, that's fine. But yeah, I just really really struggle with getting the flow for it. I think I keep saying to myself that I'm simplifying it, and I don't think I am. I think I'm complicating it quite a lot. Um, I think I'm just overthinking things, but I don't think I've been in a tag in a long time where there's not been something like there's a gimmick thrown in where there's like, for example, the Harbinger. I think I've done 2 tags now with Harbinger. It's difficult because Harbinger's a monster, so you can't treat the monster as a normal wrestler. You've got to work around that. You've got to protect that whole gimmick and be respectful of not like diminishing the power and the monstrosity of it. And then this one, we had the comedy aspect on top of it. So trying to have comedy and the monster, and plus it was Harbinger and the Remnant, and they're a pair of creepy bastards. So, so you got to kind of like keep that on top as well. If I'm going to be honest, if I was going to give myself feedback on it, I just don't think it planned out very well. I could have planned that a lot better. I don't think my partner Jackdaw got enough. Could have just simplified things and just given him a bit more shine and stuff. It's just hindsight, going over it and over and over it. So yeah, I enjoyed it. Everyone did a great job. Planning just could have been better on my part. Right, moving on. What was the second match of the night? Oh, see, my brain is just. I should have wrote more notes. Second match was. I was 2 out of 3. Yeah, that's what it was. 2 out of 3. Lad Chapman and Connor Rose having their grudge match. It was a good match. When I watched back the review night last night, I didn't catch it live because I was busy scrambling, changing costumes and gear and paint and everything, while being ill. That's a good point, actually. I'll go back a second to the tag match. Was watching back the review night of the show and watching the footage, I hate the way I'm moving in it. I'm so sluggish, but I have to be fair to myself, being so ill, I was not with it. And I've been trying really hard the last while to get back to a place where I'm more comfortable and more happy in the ring. The hip is very, 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 very slowly getting better. I'm now in my third year having this injured hip. I still have quite a lot of pain with it on certain days. We've narrowed down what the issue is. So it's just constant like trips to the physio every so often and rehabbing. But I was also, last time I went to the physio, once we figured out what the current issue is now with the hip, I was given some anti-inflammatories. Hoo-wee boy. Anti-inflammatories. I took that first dose and I was like, oh, I was very surprised. But I'm also the sort of person where I don't like taking too much medication. I try not to take medication if I can. And it's not because I'm picky or anything like that. I think it stems from the fact that my mother was an alcoholic. So there's that addiction thing. And my grandfather had a painkiller addiction as well, which was kept secret. Like it wasn't like a very obvious thing, but yeah, my grandfather he had a painkiller addiction, so it's kind of something that runs in my family a bit, I think. And I always have that fear that I don't want to be dependent on medication. Like I will ride out a cold as long as I can before I touch paracetamol. Man, my airing cupboard's going again. It's going to be mad. But yeah, I just tend to try and avoid it, or it has to be the last resort for me to take medication. But yeah, so these anti-inflammatories were hee-haw, ho, and I was on a course for I was supposed to take it for 2 weeks, and then I got the food poisoning. So what was the point in continuing? Because it was just going to go in my mouth and not stay in my stomach long. So I just stopped, and the idea was that once I finished this course, I'm allowed to use it basically if and when I have flare-ups of the pain. And I could already feel before that tag match, I was like, I don't want to take this, but I took half a dose and it kept the inflammation down. I'm glad I did, because at the end of the match, I was quite sore, but it was okay. Then I had to do another match later in the night, and I just had the second half of the dose, and it helped me, just kept the pain in check. So medication has its use in its place. Obviously, I just need to kind of get my head over that wee hump of the fear of addiction or being dependent. I don't even think I'm scared of being addicted to it. It's more just I don't want to be dependent on medication to function. But obviously, the older I get, the more that's going to become a thing. So yeah, 2 out of 3. It was a good match. Enjoyed it. They planned it out well. It was very 50-50. Unfortunately, just one of that things. Lad Chapman sustained an injury during that match, which was quite scary. It was quite a bad one. He's all right. He's in good spirits about it. But yeah, just one of that things. They were both quite candid about it, talking about it last night, and it's a case of could have maybe discussed it. It wasn't necessarily a very scary maneuver. It wasn't an overly dangerous maneuver, and it's one they've done 100 times. But they both sort of like, we should have either spoke a bit more about it or practice it. I always say, there's a crash mat. We bring crash mats to training in the venue, which is a luxury because a lot of places don't do that, and a lot of places can't do that. So the fact that we can bring a crash mat, it's good to get, any moves into that. I do think it's not good when you're in a point in wrestling, in any point in your journey in professional wrestling, where you're like, we'll just do the thing. I'm always firmly in my mind. It's like, yeah, if you're doing a move and you're picking someone up or something, even if I've done it 100 times, I tend to ask, do you want to practice it? Or do you want to try it one time? You will do this, because we have time. We don't just turn up to the venue and then get a show done, which a lot of places do. We've got a good couple of hours to plan, to time things out, and to experiment and be extra safe. So, unfortunately, just in that maneuver, Chapman's knee came up into his own face, and I believe he's got a fractured um, lower orbital bit. So, yeah, I think he's doing Aberdeen today, getting that checked out. So, hopefully, it's not too serious for him. But yeah, it's unfortunate, but again, just it's the risks that we take. It is part of what we do. Um, there is always that chance. I do believe that we can take as many steps, and if not more steps, to mitigate these things happening. From, as I said, discussing things prior to matches, being more tentative with the mindset of, yeah, let's not just do this thing. Practice, 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 and always having that fire lit to practice and to make sure that you're up in your game or being on top of your game. Because at the end of the day, we trust each other. We're taking our own bodies, we're risking our own bodies, and we're risking each other's bodies willingly. So there needs to be that. You need to be on your game. And I'm not saying that was necessarily the situation that happened there. It was literally just a case of, whoops, leg, wrong place, boom. But it really sucks that it's a fracture of the face like that. Really, like, I don't like the fact that's happened on one of my shows. So watch the bubble wrap coming out from Dave, because the safety is going up again. Where are we at next? It was good 2 out of 3 falls. It told the story well, and ended the program between Lad Chapman and Conor Rose. Then I think it was a short first half, so then we went into the interval, and then we moved on to the triple threat between Brody Adler, Glenn Dunbar, and Luke Matthews. That was a lot. That was a lot on a triple threat. Behave yourselves. There was so much in that. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it, but I don't think you all needed to be doing that much. I appreciate it, but wowzers. Simplicity is key. But yeah, it was good. I think it's a situation where when you talk about booking wise, sometimes like people, once they finish certain programs or they're finished doing something, there's sometimes nowhere to go. And I think the three of them were in that position at that point. Because there's my dog barking, so that'll be my postie. Cheers, Miles. Just making this session an absolute even more disaster. Yeah, but no, I mean, it was good. They came out of that one very, very sore. All three of them came out of that very, very sore. So yeah, just simplicity is key, folks. Appreciate it though. It was good. It was entertaining. Some of the bumpy bumps were really big in it as well. Let's see, what was the next one? Ah, right. It was me. The next one was myself against Jenny. Jenny was reffing for over a year, roughly. So Jenny's relatively a green trainee, and this was her debut. And it was absolutely brilliant. Jenny did me so proud. I'm so happy for Jenny. We planned it. We kept it simple. It was quite. It wasn't short. It was just to the point. Didn't want to make it overcomplicated, and yeah, the crowd really took to Jenny straight away. Absolutely took to Jenny. And as we were working the match, everything that was planned went off without a hitch. There was just one or two hiccups, which is completely fine for where Jenny is on her journey in professional wrestling. And everything that any little thing that slipped, it was fixed very quickly. There was maybe one or two bits that were forgotten, but very, very quickly came to speak to me, got communication across, and then we got right to the next bit. And she hits like a brick shithouse in a good way. Like, wow. We did a very, very small back and forth chop spot. And I mean, it's funny. This is a funny thing, right? But so I initiated it, so I chopped it. I was like, right, this is your debut. I'm not holding back. Wabow! And it was like a gunshot. And I did think to myself, I was like, yeah, Dave, that was a good chop. Yes. And then she fired back with one. I was like a missile hitting me. Like, oh my God. And I had bruising from it, which was excellente. And I was like, all right, but do you know what? Do you know what? You gonna hit me with that? I'm gonna give you one back worse. So I overhand chopped. You know, like the very popular ones in the penta, but I overhand chopped them. Oh, pow! And that was even louder than the last one I gave. And I was like, yeah, let's go, let's go. And then Jenny pulled the hand back, swung it down, came at me like Mach 5, and she didn't get my chest, she got my lip. She overhand chopped my lip. And it went, boo, bow. And oh my God, I thought my lip came off me. I was like, oh, I thought it was going to be burst. I thought it was going to be like bleeding everywhere. And I was like, well, that's going to swell up. I dropped to the ground, checked, and like my lip had gone completely numb. It was tingling. It was like that sharp tingle. I was like, all right, okay, so nah, it's fine. Absolutely fine. Just happens, a little bit targeting off, no ill will at all. Still got an excellent reaction. And then we moved to the finish, which was a really nasty twisting DDT while Jenny was hung up on the ropes. She took that brilliantly. Hit my finish, which is the Northern Lights bomb now. Finished it. And again, start finish couldn't be more proud of Jenny. Jenny is awesome, and we all love Jenny, and we're all so happy that her hard work that she's been doing in training paid off. It clearly paid off because, yeah, I'm excited to see where she goes. And I think it's one of the nicest things that I have ever heard. So Jenny was not into wrestling before she started training. Just wasn't something she was into. And she didn't watch it. But now, she does watch it now, but I don't know if she watches it for entertainment or if she's studying it. I don't know. But anyway, she watches it now. And she didn't have that background. She's never had that kind of like, you know, this is what I want to be, what I want to get to. And she's really pushed herself in training, especially the last couple of months leading up to this. And she was lying there. Because I murdered her in the ring. And we got backstage and, you know, hugs, and she was very emotional, which was great to see. Like I thought she was going to cry. She looked like she was like had tears. And she was like, I was lying there, Dave, in the ring after, you know, well, she didn't say yes, but after I'd beaten her up, and, you know, and she was lying there and she went, oh shit, I really like this. I really want to do this. And I think that's great to hear, because she had her first experience of a lie. Like, she was reffing. She's been right in front of the action the whole time. She's taken ref bumps. She's been involved in little storylines and things. But the first time she's been a wrestler, a performer, she's got the bug for it now. Like, all the pieces, all the bits in training that we talk about, all the like the psychology, all the like crowd interaction, the physicality, the moves, the character work, the development, the training, the athleticism, the adrenaline, the buzz you get from doing it, everything just came together for her. And it was such a positive experience that she's lying on the floor dead and she was like, yeah, I want to do this. Yeah, I love this. So that's great to hear. That's actually something that's going to stay with me for a long time. Now, a bit of a counter flip to this. So my, I know I always big myself up, but I pushed my entrance a little bit harder this time. Really, really enjoyed it, but I did something different with my character at the end. So ever since I've done this new character with the white face paint and the horror aspect of it, I have tried to do things a bit different and push harder. So what I've done now, I've never actually won a match as this character. This is the first time I've won or had a straight victory. And I did something from, I don't know how common it was, but I know Mankind did it when he first appeared in WWF back in the day. He had a entrance theme, but he also had an outro theme. So when he won, he had a totally different song. Well, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that because I'm fooling myself. But I picked a song, and the song actually means a lot to me. It's Health, Ashamed. It's oh no, it's the version with the lady from Churches duetting. So I like both versions of the song, but I chose the one that has her duetting on it as well. That song means a lot to me. Maybe not in a good way, but it resonates a lot with me. And when I'm having my periods of like depression or I feel like shit, that song's one that I could play quite a lot to myself. It pulls a lot of darkness up, if without sounding too dramatic. And the song hit, and then I discussed with Jenny that we were going to do this thing like where I hold her head up, almost like like she's decapitated. Well, that's grim, but yeah, I did that, and then I threw her away, and then the immediate, as soon as the music hit its chorus point, I mean, the other reason I picked it is not just because I was just resonant, it's a banger of a tune too, I think so, but the moment it hit, I just lifted my arms, and the crowd absolutely vitriolically booed me. Like, they hate me now, which is what I want. Like, they really like, oh, you a bad man. And that's what I want. Obviously, like, they don't really hate me in real life. I understand that. But they really, like, they know the character is evil and that they shouldn't like this character. And as I was leaving, there was just, like, low-level boo. And I was on the entranceway out. I thought, you know what, I'm going to get one more at ease. And yep, managed to get a song to a point where it was going to kick in again, turn around, raise my hands again, and they booed me again. And it was just like, yes. And then out of nowhere, I let this scream out, and it was not by choice. It's just, it came out. And I had realised that I sound really arty-farty for this. I tend to get in a certain mindset before I come out and do the Arkham character as it is just now. Like, I really, really gee up before I even make my entrance. I'm in my paint and everything, and then I start twitching backstage. But I really start putting my head in a space of like, where would this... I keep saying, what would this character feel? But the character is my bad. Like, it's all my negativity. It's the way I feel about the world. It's not necessarily the evil side of me. It's just a lot of like my fears, anxieties, my anger, a lot of anger, and I pour it into this character, and it comes out in the ring. And a lot of time, the things that are happening with this character and the way that he moves, the way that he attacks, it's not a choice. It's a natural progression, which I'm really enjoying. I've never wrestled like that before. I've never had this kind of like, right, let's just see what comes out, and I like what's coming out. It's helped my performance. But with that song playing, and then I went so far, I went backstage right through the curtain, and I was, oh, this is brilliant. And somebody came up to speak to me. I don't know who it was, so I apologize if this person even remembers it. But I had to hold my hand up straight away, and I was just like, don't talk to me. I went straight to the back door, closed the back corridor door, and I opened the fire door, and how do we cry? Yeah. Just that much stuff came up, I had to take like 2 minutes and I had a wee cry at the back door. Once I'd sorted myself out, I came back and big hugs for Jenny and everybody's happy. So it was brilliant. So it lifted me back up. But yeah, maybe went to a little bit too much of a dark place. But it was overall an amazingly positive experience. And I can't wait to see what Jenny does next and where she goes. She's got a right like Sarah Connor look going on, like dun 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 dun. And Jenny like does a lot of hard work in the gym and that, so she's getting like the up here. So I'm really chuffed for her. Then moving on, we had the main event. The main event was Struan Fraser against RJ Cash. I did not catch any of this, so I didn't catch any of this backstage. I caught a wee bit because I had to watch towards the end because I was involved in the main event as well. All over the show like a rash. And I also didn't have anything to do with the planning of it. I had, and that was a decision I had made on purpose. I did not ask RJ Cash and I did not ask Struan if they were okay. I didn't ask how the match was going. And I didn't ask if they were comfortable planning because they're both at a stage now where they need to fly a bit. And they did not disappoint. It was a really, really good main event. Really good. Both of them were on their game. RJ Cash has really, really found what he is, what he wants to be, what he's doing. He's found a good middle ground of as he's faced just now, but he's still got that little bit of dickhead in him, just a wee bit. He's finding his moveset, like he's comfortable in what his moveset is, and I don't mind saying this, and I think he would agree that, but RJ's strikes when he started were some of the worst strikes that we had in this group, and his chops were god awful. God awful. Just gonna twist that knife in there. Just god awful. And now his strikes were vicious. They were on point. His intensity was there. And him and Struan, I feel when they're in the ring, they have good chemistry. Really good chemistry. Now, it doesn't look so bad on camera. There was something that happened during that match, which was unfortunate. So, Struan got a bit of a nosebleed, and it wasn't from an impact. His nose just started bleeding, which was a bit scary. But it was a lot of blood, a lot, and it went all down RJ's lovely white gear. And I just remember I was at we were in gorilla position looking at the monitor because I had to wait for a cue point because I was coming out at the end, and Struan came backstage and I'm looking at the monitor and he's like, "Oh, Dave, I think I got a bit of blood on me." I turned around and he looked like he'd been fucking in a car crash. It was awful. Like, obviously, I think it mixed with the sweat that was all over his body, but he had it all over his nose, his face. It was up here. It was down his chest. It was over his arms. It was just everywhere. And I just thought in my head, I was like, "Oh, Jesus Christ!" And it was horrific to look at. I asked if he was okay, and he was like, "Yeah, he's fine." And then I had to go out, which kind of sucked because I wanted to check more that he was all right. But then I went out and we did this whole spot at the end with I had a wee promo with RJ. But as I stepped in the ring, we did a couple of maneuvers to RJ, and I was picking him up to do mine. And as I picked him up, I looked at the floor and I went, "Oh my god, this is caked in blood!" Like, it was just everywhere. It was scary. And it wasn't through any impact or anything, just the fact they had a nosebleed. So, just want to, again, a night for one of those things. One of the things that was really, really cool that I did catch live on the night, I'm glad I caught it live, that I saw it happen live instead of watching it back on review night, was so Struan practiced in training a big top rope elbow, and it sucked for him. It sucked. It hurts. It really, really hurts. And he was like, "Oh, no, no, no." And then he did crack a joke, and he says, like, if I ever get a title match, I'll use it, though. So this was obviously for the title. And the boy did it. He came flying off that top rope, and it was a thing of beauty. An absolute thing of beauty. So it was really cool to see, and I'm glad I caught it live. I don't know why, just the fact that I seen it as it happened was so much cooler. But yeah, both of them again, just brilliant. So proud of them. And that's a lot of what I have now is when I see matches, is I'm proud of the work they're doing. Because we don't know how much longer this is gonna go. But I say we, me, I don't know. I don't know how much longer it's gonna go. I mean, things are. It's not that it's in trouble, but things are so tentative right now in this country. With the economics and everything. So I just don't know. But the fact that we're still going is amazing. There's some plans and things for the future, and there's going to be some big. Well, there might be. The plans might fall through, but there's going to be some big change ups with training and things and that. So hopefully they work out for the better. But the fact that, like, everyone top bottom of the card again, I'm so proud of them. So proud of them. And I'm honoured to be sharing a card with folk. The fact that we're performing as a group, I'm so honoured. And that includes the dirty the dirty imports. It's the last time I say it. So yeah, absolute ramble of a video. This one. I really need to get back and do like stuff that I want to talk about. I really want to talk about some movies and stuff again as well. It's just getting, as I always say, it's just getting time. I'm gonna have to start making time. I'm sent out 2 messages today for 2 podcasts. I was intending to have Jenny on my next podcast, but Jenny's work shifts, and I think HorrorCon's coming up. Jenny's going to HorrorCon, which I'm a little bit jealous about, actually. I wouldn't thrive in a convention. It's not really my thing with the tism. I think I'd get very annoyed very quickly, but I like my horror. I like my horror movies, and HorrorCon looks cool as fuck. But yeah, let's do the socials one last time before we wind down. Email me on official LetsTalkAboutMeh@gmail.com. If you want to check out the Instagram, it's Instagram LetsTalkAboutMeh1. And on the TikTok, on the TikTok, Let's Talk About Meh 6. And then if you're on YouTube, you're here now. Have a cookie. Right. So, before the roof caves in with me and I feel like this session goes any more wrong, I'm signing out. Take care of yourselves, and hopefully I'll get another video up soon. And remember, please, for the love of God, like, subscribe, and share. Help ya boy out. Peace.